head control, right? So what does that mean? It means you controlling their head. So if Cindy sprawls, smashes my head into the mat, if she's not creating this constant downward pressure, right? Yeah, if she's just kind of like this, then I'm actually free to move, right? I'm free to try to get out and go around back because my head is free to help my body to escape, right? Do that shot this time and she sprawls, right? And then she has that downward pressure. Then now I can't really lift up. I gotta try to work ways of getting that control off of my head so that I can then escape. Another way of doing these types of things, so say if I'm here, I'm trying to escape and she's on my back, right? So if I'm free at all, one of the things she can do is like with this hand, she can go ahead and weave the hand behind my head into my shoulder here and use that leverage to then break me down. Now she has a few more seconds to set up whatever counterattack she has, right? So we have all kinds of things you can do here. She can try to set up different Nelson holds and stuff, but a lot of times if she tries to Nelson me from here, right, if they have a really strong posture, it's going to be difficult. So you might want to try to have a way to break that posture by controlling the head first, and then you can easily set up your Nelson holds, right? So another thing would be like see how easy it is, right, for Cindy to pin me, right? Even if I'm here and if I'm just trying to do kind of like standard kind of jiu-jitsu type of side control, kind of maybe bridge escapes, it is easier in this case when she has her arm around my head, right? Because then I can actually still like bridge up onto my head, right? But if she instead controls me by even kind of like punching across my cheek and then keeping that forearm there, then it really makes it, now if I try to bridge, it makes it where I can only kind of bridge up onto my shoulders. So then I really don't have that leverage to create space here. And she can win by pin, or if you're in nogi, you can control them longer, right? And then you can maybe set up, they're going to be scrambling. They're not going to be able to shrimp into you to try to regain their guard because they can't turn towards you now, right? So you're gonna have more time to set up your counterattacks. Or you can try to set up your Americana, your chop wrist locks, or your double wrist locks. You have more time here because you're controlling them in a way that's somewhat simple and doesn't require too much energy. All right, let's go and give another example. So this is something that I shouldn't show because I do this all the time in nogi, but you can use the different Nelsons to keep the person down, especially in a nogi situation. So we're here, they're trying to keep you from passing their guard. So they're going to be doing things like a half guard and stuff. But if you fight for the pin here, so I want to try to go for basically a quarter Nelson. So I'm pushing the head down and then I'm keeping it here, right? From here, actually going to turn this way a little bit. So from here you can work your knee slice, right? So I want to try to step on their leg, keep that down so that I can get my trapped leg, my trapped knee up across the thigh. Okay, so while I'm using my Nelson and the pressure here to keep them in place. So then from here, then all my knee has to do is just come up, and then I keep the weight on them, and then I slide out. And from here, you can finish the Nelson by bringing them back underneath you. You pin them. All right, so that'll be another video where we can break that down, but that's the follow through for a quarter Nelson. You end up pinning them, just like the other Nelsons. You want to go for that pin. You can use this type of, or you can think that all those Nelsons, all these other things go in the category of head control. So you have to control the head so you can control their posture, control their movement, and then you'll have time to set up your counterattacks. So it's very, very effective.
learned recently, like even in hand fighting, like going for inside control with your head, like headbutting and like going for the temple, things like that. It's also really important.
Yeah, they can't just, you won't be, like, if I'm trying to grab, like, your arm, trying to set up some kind of takedown, even getting your head in here, like, pushing my head away, all right, that stops it. All right, so kind of maybe give an example where it's like, if I'm trying to come in at you, and then, like, you use your head to turn me away here, then the takedown that I'm initiating just gets, like, dismantled. All right, so yeah, so all of these ways of controlling their head position, so it's not like straight at you. If they're straight at you, that means their whole posture is in a good alignment, their whole body's in a good alignment, so they're very, very strong. If they come straight at you, so turning their head or pushing the head down into the mat is a good way to break that posture, weaken them. You end up with all the leverage and even more time to set up your counterattacks. Make sure you click on the next video. We have a whole series of 5 videos, so check them all out.